we are going to be looking at all of the team's bases. They had an entire week to finish their bases, and now they're going to present us their bases as much as we can. We have 5 different judging. Oh wow, this is actually really great. Oh my god, Lowell, this is awesome. We have 5 different categories that we are going to be judging the teams by. We have beauty, unity, theme, teamwork, and presentation. Now, of course, there's a few rules attached to it that we are going to be explaining later down the line as well. As long as they are in the rules, then it's going to be fine. However, let me go ahead and broadcast to the contestants to come down to the tree so we can go ahead and get this started. Hello, guys. Can you guys please head down over to the base of the tree? We got a group of tourists ready to see how your bases are.
Oh, you're there, God. I see you this time.
Off completely.
I know what you are. Remember that.
That's threatening.
Mr. Venom,
I own you.
Hi, Jervy.
please
Oh,
don't
CJ
threaten
just
the
laughed.
tour guides. The
God, there was nothing-
tourists.
What?
The tourists.
What?
The
There was
There was
tourists.
no threat. What threat? I didn't. There was an
Whacked by
accident.
a
So
zombie.
Venom,
Yeah.
I understand that you made a very large pit that you died in.
Venom!
The irony.
I was gone for like 5 hours. What happened?
Look, man, I'm on like an hour of sleep right now. It's not going too
Did you
good.
not go to bed last night?
No.
Venom!
So, welcome to the Tree of Life.
Goggles is apparently rich. He owns everything.
If you'll
Anything up
please
there,
follow me
yeah.
up this way of the tree, first thing that I want to do is go to this little nice platform and demonstrate the wonderful builds that we have here. So, as you can see, we have Nim's beautiful blimp. You can see it in all of its glory from this view. We've also got Calvin's magical wizard's tower on the top left of the tree branch. We've got the nice vat of goo, which is sourcing a lot of our power for our area. We have my wonderful potion palace over there, and then we've also got Turtle's clock, and we're going to show you guys in more detail. We then have a wonderful little fountain. This is kind of our touristic build. If anyone, this is kind of like the main hub area for our base of operation, where everyone kind of gathers. If you move over to the left here, we've got the Crimson Crusader storage, and this is our big vat of goo. You'll notice that the goo is kind of like dripping down from the top. We've got a nice effect here with the glass, where it actually kind of sinks down into the floor, and when you look up, I really like how this looks. And then if we come out this way, you'll meet our first assistant robot over here. This is Samantha. Everyone give a warm welcome to Samantha. This is one of our helper robots in the area.
Alright, hello everyone, welcome to my Nim's Hot Air Balloon of Wonders. As you can see, it's very, very steamy in here. Got a nice little room temperature vibe. Got a nice table in here so we can sit and relax, have a one-on-one
people in at
conversation
once.
between our friends. Got a couple dogs in here. We got Tad, Tim, and Todd are somewhere. We got a beautiful assortment of books, bookshelves. Some books, of course, are taken off. I've rented them out to people.
Drop of kind of how our base works a little bit. So we decided to go for kind of like a steampunk alchemist vibe. And our story is that we're trying to figure out the source of power with the Tree of Life. Now, this goo is actually the sap that comes from the tree.
You're still in my house.
And we're trying to kind of study it. We're using it as power. You can see the goo actually runs out the side of the vat, and it's kind of burning the tree a little bit, which is a little strange. There must be some sort of shelling in the inside of the tree that prevents it from actually burning from the inside out. So we're still trying to figure that out, that part. We then have the goo running into all of our furnaces here and powering them. We've got a nice cobblestone generator if we're lazy. We don't want to go down to the ground area. It is functional. We've also got a piece of obsidian there once it was allowed, so that if you do want to mine it and just hold it down, you can. We then have a nice little storage area for lava buckets and coal. And then over here, we have a functional basalt generator as well, which we gained from the nether, which did not take me about 4 times to make because I haven't made it before. We then have a nice little vat of goo here. It keeps running down this way across the base, past our crafting area. We've got crafting table, loom, all this good stuff, ender chest if anyone needs it. And then this leads into our power pod. And the power pod is supposed to be kind of based off of a cryostasis chamber, sort of. You can also see how much fuel is in the power pod right here. And it will power it. You can see kind of like the top. You can enter here, and it's kind of a nice little piece. This is my potion parlor, where I like brewing a lot of potions. I've got some of my personals in here, another ender chest, of course. And then this is where I brew all of the lovely potions for the entire team and the entire server. If anyone does want potions, they can come to me. As you can notice on the outside as well, it is like a giant potion build. You've got the nice bubbly, what is it? Like bubbly potion coming out the top. And yeah, we've got power leading from all of the places with the steam vents leading into the potion parlor. Moving on, we have another vent over here leading into Sea Turtle's cuckoo clock. This is a wonderful scene that was actually taken. This was a screenshot right here on the wall taken by Turtle. You can see that's Turtle's face right there. And that is the creeper that both me and Nim died to. So that was a lovely image taken by Turtle. We then moved down here. Please be careful of all the gears, guys. It's a little bit dangerous. We've got some spinning gears going. We've got Turtle's living quarters. We've got another large gear inside of the clock, making it kind of work, leading down into an extra storage area. Once again, high-speed gear mechanism here, so be very cautious of that. And yeah, this is just an extra room as well for more storage that we'll get later in the series. And we will lead up the branch here. You can notice that a lot of these steam pipes coming from the large vat is actually slowly over time burning the tree a little bit. Again, just carrying all of this powerful goo slash sap is kind of burning the tree on the outside a little bit. We're still trying to figure out the mechanics with it. But then we lead up to Calvin's Copper Tower. And this is a very impressive build made by Calvin. If you go up, we've got a nice spiral staircase leading to the top. You can also notice as well a very nice gradient that has been made for this build. Slowly over time, we just tried to get the what we consider was really good blocks that matched with the copper. And then this leads into Calvin's wizard quarters, where he is, again, if you read this book, this is the secret behind the tree of life sap. And so this is where Calvin is studying to try to figure out more about this sap with the tree, and so that we can channel its powers. And we're kind of figuring out the mechanics with the power pod, but we're still not quite there yet. It's still not fully functional yet, but maybe it will be later in the series. But I believe that is pretty much the main tour for the Crimson Crusaders here. Again, mods, feel free to look around a little bit more if there was if it was a little crowded. We are kind of.
I just really feel, and this is just my opinion, I feel like you guys are fusing a lot of things together, and it's just confusing everything. I feel like there's not really a coherent story. It feels like a lot of things were just like thrown at the wall and see what stuck. In my opinion.
Well, it's kind of, the team was split down the middle. We're a team of scientists, and we're a team of magic people.
As you said, steampunk alchemist. You also mentioned, wizard and potion or alchemy, but where is the steam even generated? You've mentioned the power is
it's generated
tree sap,
from the tree sap. This is
that is
where
not
all
steam.
of our power source is from.
Yeah, that's tree sap. How does the tree sap become steam?
That's
how
a
are
good
you
question.
using that
That's
power?
what we're trying to solve here, which powers our entire area, and we're still trying to figure it out.
I have a question. How come when I stand in here I don't get covered in goop? There's goop above me, goop below me. It doesn't make sense to me.
Whenever the moderators decided to kind of like pause the time at the beginning of the server, it also paused. This was an air pocket. You see, this was an air pocket, and yeah, it kind of paused this entire area right here.
Why is it that out of the presentation, why is Goggles the 80% of the presentation, and Nim, you only showed one thing, and then you were kind of like done. You were kind of gone. What happened there?
Well, there was only two of us here on the lead role is because I did build quite a lot of this. And also my teammates did give me information as to what I should say for their builds.
And they didn't tell me anything.
And they couldn't be
I don't know
here,
why.
so...
Is there an
How is the clock tower held up?
The clock tower is held up by these chains at the top that is kind of like holding it in place. You can't quite see it. There are a lot of gears in the way as well. Yeah, with
It's
the chains.
two measly little Minecraft chains. Don't you think that'd be quite like this clock tower would have a lot
Is
of
there
weight
any
to
other
it?
questions
so
that
there's
you fellas might
probably-
have?
Especially after showing
Sync
the
is
fire down
asking
here.
you question.
Like two little measly Minecraft chains that you can just craft. When this clock tower, with all the gears, all the metal, it should be quite hefty, have a lot of weight to it.
I have an
Especially
add-on.
following that, sorry, Halo.
No,
You've
you're
got
okay.
the entire potions held up by a giant, tons of thrusters, kind of like a rocket, but the clock tower's double the size, more mechanical bits inside as well, but it's, again, as Sync said, two tiny Minecraft chains.
I have an add-on to that. As someone, they heard about all these gears. They called me. I come from, like me. I make gears. That's why they brought me here specifically for this. These gears, the size that they are, they must weigh 10 ton, if not more. So those two little chains, like,
As a person that used to work in construction, it does
Well,
not
I feel as if,
mathematically make sense.
you know, I'm going to be completely honest with you, moderators. If that's the only little thing that you could nitpick about all of this amazing stuff that has been built, I feel like we've done an okay job. To be
Okay,
completely
well, you are
honest.
absolutely just going ahead and not responding any of the questions.
As you can see on your left, there's got a beautiful view from over here, don't we? Just over there on your left. Anyway, we will make our way over. So, welcome to Mystic Hollow. So, we have a little bit of a backstory for everyone here. So, long ago, nestled deep within a mystical forest, untouched by time, there emerged a curious settlement known as Mystic Hollow. It was not founded by kings or warriors, but by a band of wandering artisans, nature whisperers and dreamers who sought refuge from the noise of the outside world. They followed a trail of glowing spores and moonlit petals until they reached a clearing where where magic hummed in the ear and the tree of life welcomed them. Your right is the Shroom House. This was built by myself, the herbalist and alchemist of the Hollow. This towering toadstool pulses bioluminescent light. Its cap shelters rare fungi and healing herbs, and it's stemmed hollowed into the cozy chamber. Legend says the mushroom grew from a single enchanted spore gifted by the forest itself. So welcome into the first floor, or ground floor, whichever way you want to put it. This is the little kitchen and seating area. We work our way up. Of course, every house needs to have a gaming room. Because that's just priorities. This here we have where the alchemist will read her books and sit whilst she's waiting for the next day to study. Oh, Lowell's gaming away. And next we'll move over to Iron Wolf.
Okay, so this is my house. It's a little cottage. There's the carpenter storyteller. That is me. This is a wooden haven. It's made from the fallen ancient trees that it's never been cut, but gifted. Its walls whisper tales when the wind blows, and its heart never dies. Children gather, they think it's been cut down by a giant, but it's not. Mods can come in. We have a beautiful kitchen view. That's my plate. It's kind of, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, careful, so we got like, it's just a little cottage, yeah. And let's go to Aiden's space.
Alright, so this is my tree stump. It was just kind of dead here when I found it, so I refurbished it a little bit. I mean, as you can see, there's a lot of growth around it of all, the mushrooms, that have kind of having the same for like the vines and all that stuff. If, mods and staff want to walk on in, it's just a dead tree stump. There's not a whole lot in here. I tend to eat a lot of slop, out of this, barrel with the amount of bowls I have. I kind of just get a bowl, pick up a bunch of slop, and then tend to eat it. That's kind of, what I like to do in my free time. I have some seats in case I get company. I don't really get much company personally. I don't really like walking into a dead tree stump. But, in case I do get company, the 2 seats are there. I have a bell because I really like ringing a bell and just being annoying to all the other house residents around the area because I like to annoy them. If you go up here, you have, just kind of where I sleep. Not a whole lot, I got some candles to keep me company, just some light, I like it a lot, pretty dark. There's also a mushroom there. I tend to stare at it when I get bored because, it's not a whole lot. Also have some books, nothing really important in those books, but they're books, nevertheless, I tend to do some reading every once in a while. And then a chest where I keep a water bucket because, I like to drink water in the middle of the night. Because who doesn't like an ice cold, cup of water in the middle of the night when whether you're sleeping or the moment you wake up, it's pretty nice. And here's Rosie's space.
Okay, so Rosie couldn't
Hosted
make it.
by
She
Ian.
sadly had COVID. So, but Rosie's this is made by Rosie. The panel opens and closes at dusk, so it like opens at day and at dusk. This is her. I have to go inside to her pet. And yeah, that's her.
Here we now have the main building, which is the shoe.
So this is the shoe, this is where we keep all of our supplies and stuff. We just kind of found the shoe
And the
kind of
mailbox.
standing here. Oh, and the mailbox. Yeah, I can't forget about the mailbox. We found the shoe here, so we decided to, re-inhabit it and put all of our supplies in there. So if you want to, come on in, staff, you can. This is where we do all of our work and all of our stuff and keep all of our storage.
It'd be a shame if someone hate you.
Okay, anyways, we keep all of our storage here and all that stuff. As you can see, we have some growth in here with, the anvils and the leaves. We have like a little desk, a little kind of meeting area. We don't tend to meet here often. We tend to meet outside the campfire, which, I'll show you after this. But it's a little meeting area. Some growth in here as well. Kind of like a lot of growth. If you come up here, we have a book with all of our kind of, stuff in here, all of our lives we like to keep track of. The amount of lives I've lost due to a trial chamber that somebody activated a potion bottle on. Anyways, we also have a little balcony, up here. It's not spacious at all, but, it's a little balcony nonetheless. It's got a great view. Yeah, it's a little bit of a safety hazard, but it's fine.
So a little bit of the backstory about the shoe is that no one knows who first built it or where it came from. Some say a giant left it behind. Others say it was shaped by the earth itself. To a house for the Hollow's founders. Inside, they found it peaceful and cozy, and then made it into their own.
Oh yeah, so over here we got the campfire. This is where we like to do most of our meetings. As we're all about nature here. We kind of like to do, everything outside. So we figured we'll build a little campfire here. And in case anyone needs to, go, we have a little outhouse over here. You can do, whatever deeds you need to do in there. I don't judge, but, you can do all that. Yeah, there's a lot of big trees around here. There's a lot of bamboo, and it's just a very nice area to sit down, have a meeting, have a chat, while you also stare at the pond as well, with Lily the duck also in the pond as well.
The pond we call is the Pond of Whispers. It is a sacred body of water that reflects not just the sky, but memories. Dip your hand in it, and you might hear a forgotten song or see a vision of the past. The pond is sacred, fed by the tree of life, and watched over by koi spirits that shimmer within ancient wisdom. Every building, every stone, every ripple in the pond carried by a story waiting to be discovered.
And now you are all a part of it. We have the crystal in the sky, which also powers the pond and its secrets. We don't know where it came from. It just appeared one day. Yeah, we also, just to now be away from the story part, as you can see on the sides, we have little bushes areas that do hang down. I feel like I need to point that out because Arhin put a lot of work into that. This is a nice boulder.
Yeah.
I just feel like we need to acknowledge this. That's a nice boulder.
The first thing that I thought when I looked at this is, are we trying to recreate Smurfsville here? I guess my issue that I have is that all of these houses are so small and compact. You have all of this space, and I understand that you guys made a very nice, little, lake thing here. But it just feels like you guys are putting yourselves in a situation where all of your houses, and I'm sorry, Rosie's house specifically, to be very small and compact for no reason. Is there a reason for that?
I think the original idea was that it was more fairy-like, so it was supposed to be small, but it then developed over time and became more of a mystical forest.
This is supposed to be a base, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lotus flower.
Okay. It does not give me lotus flower vibes. I am not going to lie.
Why does it look upside down? It looks upside down to me. I mean, I'm not, I'm a guy. I'm not huge on flowers, but it looks upside down to me.
Rose is built, unfortunately, so we didn't really have time to speak to her since she's had COVID.
Yeah.
All that much about it.
Wait, no, pause. You
But
guys
she
had a
was on.
week.
Yeah, I know.
And from what I understand, this build was the first build that was on the platform. So you guys saying that doesn't make sense. You guys had a whole week to talk about it, and she has been online. Even if she's sick, you guys could have at least helped her guide
you've got
it.
a point. You've got a point. We could have definitely.
I just didn't
helped.
want to.
The problem that I have over here, well, it does help with the unison. These two houses, they feel very much the same. It's just a tree stump, both together, kind of like next to each other. One is a little bit more on the dead side. The other one is a little bit more on the alive side. I wish that the story was that this one was so old that it had to die, that it spruced another like tree over here. But that's not what happened. You guys just put two things that are right next to each other and separated them completely. And yeah, again, like on the insides, it feels so cramped. This doesn't feel like a living space. This feels like an apartment in New York City that you can still rent for like $1,200 dollars a month. It just feels too small for the plot that you guys have. It feels very much like you guys wasted the opportunity.
We'll make our way across this lovely tree of life to a beautiful, beautiful abandoned city. We found it. Naturally just sitting there, overgrown, taken over, and lucky for us, squatters' rights exist, so we've legally claimed it as our own.
We took it and we took it for ourselves, see?
Yeah.
We did it, see?
No remorse. Capitalism at its finest, really.
That's just why we're called Team Boss, because we're the boss.
Each
See?
and every one of us is a boss in our own way. We each own a, shop of some sort of business.
Yes.
The entire city is being refurbished. Rather dense area.
Yeah, it's kind of a pick-me-up, see, but it has some charm. So this little butte right here is, I like to call my home base. Now, Jovi, if you would be so kind if you could follow me back here, and if you could quickly take this, and I'll get this, get my little shop's background music going.
CJ's
My
Fire mixtape.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, as you can see here, welcome to Creative Studios Pawn Shop. This is a quaint little business where I, being the lovely little hoarder I am, see, there's a lot of cool stuff around these parts. There's a lot of cool gems, a lot of cool music discs, a lot of cool paintings, and well, I just gotta get my hands on all of it. That is why I have opened up this little shop as you see here. Well, players, if they would like, they can when they go mining or exploring or whatnot, they could hop over to my shop, bring me what they find, and I'll give them some money for it, or some ores or whatnot. Of course, it's a pawn shop, so what they get is not gonna be top of the line, but hey, it helps clear out your inventory. Got some chests over there, got some stuff here, but as the sign said before, this ain't just a pawn shop. So if you all step into my office right here. And hello, I am, my name is CJ Creator, Esquire, and I am an antique specialist. If you find something extra extraordinary or rare or whatnot, come to me and we can have a discussion about it. I can, describe exactly what you found, maybe places where you can get more of them, or if you have something in particular you're looking for, I could, do some investigative work, help you find it. All that jazz. If you find something cool, I'm here to tell you about it. I have myself a little lectern here to write down some, files, discoveries, and whatnot. And ooh, looks like Lowell found a little ace in the hole. As of course, with every rat hoarder that exists, I need my little cubby, my little hiding space. And if you don't mind, Venom, if you could take if you take over for me while I give Butternut a little pat here.
Of course. I'd like to direct your attention to the several choices for apartment buildings we have here. This one is a main base of operations for the Crash Out Rin. Little cramped, as to be expected with the high cost of living in the area, which has been free because we squatted. little hard to get in here. I'll make some room for you guys. But Rin uses this space to do all his work. Keeps it as his storage. Keeps it for anything he could possibly need. These
Wait,
other
so this
two,
is
though.
wait, give me a second. This is Rin's space entirely.
Rin occupies several buildings. He's kind of like a, what would you call it? Not a hobo, but a wandering vagrant. Rin's bed is in here.
So a squatter?
Yeah, well, you know, squatter with extra steps.
Yeah,
And then
see?
Rin has his very own shop. It's karaoke. Don't mind the spelling. I'm sure it's absolutely correct.
That's how I'd spell it.
This is one of the many attractions of the city. We come here every Friday night to sing various songs.
Get it, Jeremy. Sing it.
For
Sing it.
girls,
Sing it,
we're
Jeremy.
undeniable. Daisy,
Oh my God.
Dukes, Bikini
Take the mic, take the
on
mic.
top. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but it's Katy Perry. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah!
Fun. Anyways, if I could direct your attention to the various alleyways, the entire city, although very dense and compact, does have plenty of space to get around. Many loops and alleyways to get through, which will lead you directly to the pizza's doctor office. CJ, would you like to take them all inside?
Oh, would I ever be? Doctor, we're in. Doc,
There's her dog here.
seems the doc is out. But you know what? Doesn't matter. as of course, every little city needs a doctor's office, because, well, the city is is kind of dangerous, you know? It could be rats or moles or...
What if you stub your toe?
Yeah, what if you stub your toe? That's...
might
What
hurt.
you can do then? You could bleed out from a stub toe. You could get affected. So, here we have a lovely little doctor's office. Step inside our MRI machine. It is guaranteed to sound like R2-D2 having a seizure. Flip the switches, and yeah, you got yourself.
Halo, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it says you're gonna die in 2 days.
Well,
I don't
know.
wait, pause. Why do we need to do it in 2 days?
You know, keep that in the alleyways, Jeremy. That's we don't do that in the buildings.
Sink. It says
It's
you're
a
a
medic. It's a medical building. See, but of course,
This
the
is
doctor.
30 years extended warrant. I'm saying. Okay, nice.
Yeah, the doctor may be out, but we can show you his living quarters here. Every doctor may need his office, and
2 blocks tall.
And here we have another lovely example of our New Yorkian hood-inspired architecture, with glamorous views such as Iron Ball and Window, with more window. He's about to make a cure for whatever the heck Halo got infected with. And ooh, looky here. This is one of our crown lovely establishments here. Venom. The grand tour, see?
Well, this is the thing I'm the boss of. This is an old factory. It's still obviously under a lot of construction. It's being refurbished, so we had to gut the entire thing, unfortunately. This handy dandy door to open it up, and this wonderful light switch to get the whole thing lit up. Obviously, gotta still figure out what we want to do with it. It's new space, it's empty space. You know, refurbishing is not a fast process. If you follow me upstairs, though, one of the first things we did refurbish was a lovely, lovely office where I tend to do all of my deals. Do I also sleep in here? Maybe. That's not important, though. Now, I don't know how much reference I'm allowed to make to the preseason, but those of you that might recognize this head of mine, they're looking pretty familiar. I want to keep it as a keepsake. Hey, Spoon, that's my bed. You can't have that one.
Sorry.
It's your own bed.
Anyways, most importantly, it's all about the business around here. That's why each one of us is a boss. It's very important that we each have our own business to attend to. We each have our own space to attend to, but we're all still very close. That's what matters. And when we want to gather together, we come right back outside. And that brings us to one of our final stops, our very own campfire. Now, is it the most clean? No. But is it where we like to hang out? Absolutely.
Yeah, we gather around, get a bagel or two, get whatever the heck we can find out of the rubbish bin, and just, you know, like for this example, like we're having hedgehog tonight.
Fresh.
Yeah, very fresh. A bit both, but hey, that's you know what? We take what we can get around here. So yeah,
It's all work in progress.
Yeah, gather around the bonfire, get yourself some premium cuisine, and just look under the stars in our lovely little city.
It is very tight. I mean,
yes,
you guys absolutely wanted to do something like this. It very much worked out. This is the same issue that I had with Team Raid, where it's just too small of living spaces.
Is it not realistic?
Well, Raid didn't exactly get a choice in the matter. The buildings were here before we got here.
Why is the main road path so dark when everywhere else if there even is a path, it's either naturey or it's actual path blocks or it's something like that. And then the other question, why are there 3 different build themes? You've got like the red brick and granite, you've got the diorite and calcite, and then you have the stone and tuff.
Well, if you've ever been in a main city, obviously you have your main road that what would have had cars been on. You have your sidewalks; those are all different materials, and even the buildings themselves—they're all designed differently. Different people make different buildings; they make them out of different materials. It's whatever the people who designed them wanted.
Can I see the door work again? I didn't want to. I didn't want to just hit buttons.
No, the button is roof, so you can hit it as many times as you want, and it will not break it.
Okay.
That's
how it looks from the inside. Okay.
Any other mods that have anything else to say?
Hit it as many times. You're not going to break it.
That was smart.
Well.
Oh.
Okay.
Personally, I
I think we get
I'm
it.
stuck.
I think
Okay, stop, Lowell, stop. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Mods, we are going to go over to the other call, and we're going to be deliberating. You guys can go ahead and speak with each other.
All right. I trust that Spoon can show you around our outside area well. I got some business to attend to upstairs. So Spoon, please take it away for me.
Of course. Can I direct all the host attention? I have a video of there of one of our members, Speedo. Of course, he was away on some important business. Could you please take a look on it?
Sorry, boss. I know I couldn't. I got into some trouble. I owe some people some money. I owe some people some money. What do you do? I owe some people some money. I'll be back by tomorrow, but I can't make the challenge.
That was his absence. I wanted to explain, he may not be here, but he's up on some important business for us. So I want to take you around, starting with over here. We live in an establishment. It's been here for a long time. You can check the moss, It's just dimmed with age. It's gotten more gray than green. I'd like to start. Oh, I'm getting important, folk. I'm going to deny that real quick so I can continue this presentation. So starting off, we have some. We are the Crystal Ravens. We live in bird cages, correct? Here's starting off. We got one of our own, who once was resident high above in the tree, but crashed down to earth because of. You can check. We had some bad science experiments go through, and the chains they weren't fortified. I'll show you later. We worked on that. With time, we adapted. We have another case of times went bad. This has been one of our older cages, someone who's been here for centuries. It fell down, and through time, age took it. It grew around it, and overall, it's been abandoned for many, many years. We're a male company, or you could say that. I like to call it something different, but let me bring you a little bit on the outside. We do live in all the cages are our homes. They're our little bases, but. So coming inside, we got nice, lovely bookshelves. If you care to read it at any point, I'm not requiring to now. We have our full story of how we got here, who we are. I don't want to make this short for myself, my little intro, but I want to bring you to someone, got to show some respect to someone, someone higher up than us. You go, boss.
Welcome in. This is our Office of Operations with Crystal Ravens. We have a book here detailing possible book importance, still be filled out to see if anyone wants to add any importance to our books. I will bring you all over here to our filing cabinet. I wanted to find a way to show off each of our weeks here in Rival SMP. So each of our cabinets here have a number that corresponds with one of our weeks. You can look in week 1 chest right here where it has mementos of items that I've collected over the course of the week to remember the time of the first week of the settling in this place. Before we go back downstairs, if you want, you're going to follow me up to my little bird cage. While going up, you'll see in the sky, we have some ravens flying around with lights. Our base was underneath all of the luscious leaves of this tree. So we hired and got some birds to write some lights for us. Up here is my cage. Our goal with the cages will have all unique, different sorts, since we're all unique people. Our general theme, again, was kind of raven, dark. We wanted to have each cave a little special so we know who's who. And this is for Eduardo. Being honest, I have no clue how he got in here, but he is now my roommate and I love him. But yeah, I want to make it each unique. While going up the ladder, I want to mention that this build was mostly made by myself because me and my other teammates agreed that I was the better builder, but they had supplied me every building block more or less for the space. I did not barely have to leave to build up here. But up here is a little shiny place for our shinies and all that fun stuff to put also mementos. So any like special diamonds or special ores we find, they'll also come up here for, again, our general shiny collection. But yeah, I'm very grateful for all of my teammates because I would literally message in our chat that, hey, I need this block. And by the time I logged in, I would have the block, tons of the block and all of that. If you'll follow me down the library, I'm going to quickly read to you our story of Crystal Ravens and how we got here. Just simple flock of birds, nothing more, nothing less. Ravens tend to not be seen flying together for a very long time, temporary flocks as they are called. Yet these 4 don't seem eager to leave. These 4 met briefly before deciding to go on an adventure together, wandering around the world they didn't fully understand. They knew they needed to find a home to settle into, a peaceful place. After wandering for about a month, they came across a big tree so huge it could cover multiple maps. With its enticing branches and beautiful floating orbs, they knew it was a place they could call home. Originally, 4 bird cages hung from the branches. They lived comfortably till weather made a cage fall. Luckily, it fell between 2 branches where it was safe, and soon the branches grew into and around the cage. The next incident occurred during an experiment gone wrong. A big explosion made the already weak chain snap. The leftover slime and toxins can still be seen spilling out testing tubes. After that, the other 2 cages got reinforced with more chains. After outgrowing the cages, they made the decision to make a house, a place where they can store more shiny items, plus an office upstairs. Normal office, yeah. The trees soon start to attract other wandering birds to come stay for a while. They can be seen flying around carrying lanterns to help make the place a little bit more brighter. As more people came to live in the tree, the more busier it got. Soon 3 other groups decided to live in the tree, and an opportunity to create a service that served the community. As birds, they knew they were good at delivering items, so the CR Postal Service was created with 2 employees to help out. For the whole world to spread their wings, they were ready to take it on. This book will serve as a continuation for their story. A flock of feathers stays together. CR. Since we are a growing community, we have a way to make ourselves a bit more safer. We have a potion area over here, and this top green book right here, if everyone wants to give it a look or not, I'll throw it on the ground. It has every potion recipe you'll ever need to look at. Over here is our lovely chest room, where our amazing teammate B-Team organized our chests. Over here we have kitchen and a little kind of a smithing area. Furnaces, blast furnaces. You gotta make sure we can run business well here at the Crystal Ravens headquarters.
Speaking of B-Team, I feel like we've neglected to show one of our finer cages.
Oh yes.
Coming out here, we have one of our cages that stood the time. It's after our previous accidents, as you can see the 2 right there that have crashed down their Flumagoli. We've learned to reinforce the chains. They may be little, but they're reinforced to hold. Here we are. He has a lovely home. He has customized all by himself. He's the foundation of our design as well for all of our cages.
Yes, he built his cage first, and we were like, that's really pretty. And so we made sure to have ours matching similar to keep our aesthetic of the dark raven cages.
I'd like to go into detail about our mail. I mean, up front.
Oh, yes. Everyone, and then we always got up here, but everyone take a quick round. We'll head back down. All right. So the Postal Service. This service is open to all members, including staff. This is our little upfront. If you have just letters you want to send, please make sure you do address them. As Postal Service, we take pride in bringing up our letters. So you open up the top and you throw your letters in. People are touching the post office. And if you have packages, you can throw them over to our amazing employee, Armless Harry, because messy mail rooms. I cannot not have a messy mail room. We have our Harmless Harry, just to sit right through in here. And then over here is for our letters. I'll look them through some stuff. I'll do it later. So last night I found in Harmless Harry's chest right here a package for the Crimson Crusader. So I put it over in their chest over here. From there, I'll take it. Also, make it very clear, I do not read the mail. None of us read the mail. We take pride on privacy. If you send us something, we hope you entrust us to not read it, not nothing like that. In this case, this goes to the Crimson Crusaders. So we're going to go down this path. I just go over to their mailbox and put it away.
But one last bit. So I know, we're all about community and getting to know each other on this. So we were thinking, we all came together and decided, it could be a good time. We noticed we come over here when we were settling in. We noticed there's a giant pool of water. Watch it. If you jump too far, you will land on a tree. But of course, everyone, come on. Everyone's invited.
Don't worry, the lifeguard's on duty. Don't worry.
But I think
the lifeguard is on duty. As people don't know, I'm lifeguard in real life, so I have training definitely. So this one is Speedles. The far one in between the cages is Spoons. The one up top is B-Team's, and the one above the house is mine.
Okay, thank you.
Each team member made their own cages, correct?
Yes.
So this mansion that you have here is your claimed community area?
For us, yes. The community area for the other teams are post service and diving boards.
So what is your theme exactly?
Our theme is kind of like going with like the dark raven vibes. So we went with the crystal ravens, with the crystals in the roof. We wanted to use the darker blocks and darker path and all the deep slate for us to do the darker vibes.
As you can see, we also leaned into the mafia attire, with the post office being a front for what we do.
So what about this area? This is also yours. Why is there nothing been done over here?
If I am being completely honest, through the whole week, I thought this was part of the pathways.
I
didn't want to disturb it too much. That's mostly why I didn't want to. I think you probably noticed we was asking a lot of what's okay, what's not okay, hanging the stuff up there. I didn't want to overstep or break any rules you all set in place. So I'm completely honest. I think until yesterday, I thought it was the part of the past, and I said, okay, wait, maybe it's not, but I had no idea what to put there at that point in time, and I thought, you know what, it's a good transition to from wood to gray, and that's why I left it kind of.
All right, so
I think it does look nice.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's a lot of shrubbery. There's a lot of things. It still feels quite empty. While other bases that we've seen, it feels very lively. It could maybe be the pale moss block. I don't know exactly if that was the right decision, in my opinion. Was there a reason as to why you guys went full on with the pale moss?
As the first people with the old cages, everything breaking down. So, we settled in, and over time, the moss, died out because of how long it's been here. That's the vibe we were going for. Just, we've been here for so long that things over time.
My last question is, Nivea, build-wise, what percentage out of 100 did you do?
I did a good amount. I can admit with that. I did probably a bit more than 50. At the start, we agreed that, and at least, I don't know about Speed, but I talked to B-Team and Spiel, and they agreed that they weren't good builds, weren't confident in it, so we kind of took a deal that they will get mostly everything I needed for myself, unless I need something specific. So they
right, but the problem is that we are not going to look at them gathering the resources as teamwork.
I will give credit to that when it came to the bookshelf, they finished the library. They helped organize everything, and B-Team did help me decorate a good portion of it when he was on the past 2 days.
Yeah.
The main structure was me though, but yeah, they did help a lot with decorating, which was nice.
Yeah, it's just I think the aspect of teamwork when it comes to building, it was more Nivea did everything and everyone gathered stuff for you, which that for me is going to be a bit of an issue. One of our mods tally everything up. Okay, well, soon enough, Lowell is going to come up here, and he is going to be giving us the results of the challenge.
So before anything, we were ranking out of 10 for each category, with the total best possible score being 300. Obviously, it's not possible for any of you because no team had the full team. So in last place with 141 points, we had the Crimson Crusaders. The biggest thing for me was the theme it didn't really work. I liked the aspect of steampunk, but you didn't do steampunky. The point of all of it was there's a purpose for everything, and there's it's the power and how everything's working. 4 different things, everything all together, and it's it just didn't do steampunk justice, and there was no. It was tree power, but it was steampunk, but it was wizard, but it was magic. It didn't really fit. And then the other thing for me was every build was very nice on its own, but when put together, things would be far away, or it felt like clashing against each other, or just wouldn't work. So yeah, theme didn't hit, and everything was beautiful on its own, but didn't work together.
The one thing you guys did very right is that every aspect of the build was very pretty. There was no build that I thought, ugh, like I wouldn't want to be there. It was more so of there were a few issues, and one big con that I have to say is that the presentation, you guys were not prepared. It was Goggle saying everything, and it was a lot of the same words of, oh, look at this is a build. Oh, look at that is a balloon. Oh, look at this is a clock tower. We didn't get any sort of like information at all, and it feels like you guys weren't prepared for a presentation that we were hoping for.
So moving on to number 3, we had Crystal Ravens with a score of 184. To an extent, a similar thing of many builds looked nice on their own, but together didn't really fit. And there's also another similar thing of it felt like a lot of things put together of there was the Ravens, there was the Mafia, there was the post office, there was the whole mansion. It felt like a lot. And then the other thing that was very big to me was the scale fell off. So mansion was giant, but then birdcage right next to it felt so off in size comparison. Similar to Crusaders as well. Every build was nice on its own as well, and then there's also a lot of the interiors were very nice to me. The downstairs of the mansion was awesome. I love the theme with the post office. I love how you did your presentation with the Mafia, of Spoon starting us off and then leading into Nivea the boss. I also liked that you had a story of kind of what had been happening. To me, the biggest thing probably, all the birds in the sky and how the bird cages were strung up, while the ground floor did feel a bit empty. You could look up and see it was full, it was a whole vibe, everything. And also, like, the amount of work to get those birds up there is crazy.
I'm still, right now, still very confused about the theme. I asked a few times and I still got like a few different answers. And so I wasn't particularly like the biggest fan of it. I do like the vibe that it's quite dark, it's quite kind of like gothic, but you guys never really mentioned that it was. So I couldn't really like score that theme very high.
Second place with 199, we had Raid. My biggest notes for this one, I loved how you had the story, you had the lore, and the vibe for everything coming together was so nice. It felt like everything taken on its own, other than maybe a few small things, wasn't great. Everything together was amazing, maybe one of the best builds, but it didn't, on its own, it didn't hit. The vibe was amazing. The crystal in the center and everything around the pond, I loved that. The spore blossoms to give the particles, and then there's also the trees and how you actually had the grass fully and leaves fully wrapping around the whole outer was amazing. And again, the story and how you all took turns presenting and all came together, that was amazing.
Like, it's nice, it's good, it feels quite empty. And also the houses, it's just too small. Rosie really like lost you guys quite a few points, and in reality it was you guys as a team to help her out, and you guys didn't do that. So teamwork was lacking in that department. Again, I hope you guys will improve on your bases, and please make your living quarters a little bit larger.
First place, gaining 4 tokens, we have Cyan Team Boss. Like, if it was a Ben, I did get that vibe a lot, which I found very nice. CJ's feeling very open. It was maybe the one thing I wasn't a giant fan of with that, but I loved how everything was very knit together. The alleys were a very nice vibe, and also how you kept the abandoned theme for the entire thing with the constant moss and constant just greenery. I loved how even though the factory didn't seem complete, you had a story that kind of saved it with you're gutting it, and then the kind of destroyed floor did make it all work.
Yeah, I have a lot of positive things to say. First things first, how'd you guys come up with a theme of just an abandoned building in like on top of a tree? I think the creativity there, it shines through and through. I absolutely loved it. Every time that I had to give you guys a question and try to be as like how I did with everyone else, it was more and more difficult to even nitpick because I actually really loved the build. I wouldn't even say that there's anything that would be really negative, although I will say, of course, CJ, design a little bit more like stuff. We talked about it with the team, and it is recommended for you guys to add, for example, like some armor stands or some things to show off. But that's really the only thing. Other than that, I really enjoyed your guys' build. You guys did an amazing job, and congratulations on first place on this challenge.
Bye-bye.
Bye.